It is all about you, each of you and all of you this afternoon. So we welcome you to the beautiful National Botanical Gardens for a special signing ceremony for the declaration of Mission Barbados. Mission Barbados is about you, and it's about me, and of course, about Barbados. We are joining the entire world on the brink of a crossroad that is taking us to digital transformation. You're hearing it all the time. It means that many of our traditional industries are going to be moving in a very different direction. We are taking advantage of this evolution, some may call it a revolution, that is really showing us it's an opportunity for us to change radically and leapfrog into a more prosperous Barbados. So to officially welcome you this afternoon for the official signing ceremony for the declaration of Mission Barbados, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Colin Jordan, Minister of Labour, Social Security, and the Third Sector.
Welcome to this year's May Day celebration, and also importantly, the signing event for the declaration of Mission Barbados. Today we acknowledge on Labor Day, May Day, the labor of workers in Barbados, the labor of workers across the world. And we acknowledge their contribution, our contribution to the development of our country, to the development of our region, and globally to the development of our world. On behalf of the Permanent Secretary and the officers of my ministry, I welcome you to this event. It is, while an event, more than an event. Today is a day that we will declare to each other and declare to the entire Barbados that we are on a mission to reinvigorate this country, a mission to transform the country through a focused developmental strategy. And so I invite you to join hand in hand as we declare that we are on a mission to change our country, to advance our country, and to develop ourselves even in this challenging global environment. Welcome and enjoy this ceremony.
Thank you very much, Minister Jordan. We're going to move right along because we know the sun is hot, though the breezes are lovely. And we'll invite the President of the Private Sector Association, Mrs. Tricia Tannis, to bring you greetings.
It is a pleasure as Chairman, Barbados Private Sector Association, to give brief remarks on behalf of the private sector at this official signing of the Mission Barbados program today. It is also an opportunity to bring special greetings and congratulations from the private sector to Labour on this May Day 2023. We certainly have much to give thanks for that in this country, government and capital in harmony, freedom and liberty can together with Labour be in one place to endorse and signal commitment to the declaration of Mission Barbados for the continued development and sustainability of our beautiful country. The private sector, though, does not mean big business. It is all who trade, medium, small, micro, self-employed, from the coconut vendor to the regional conglomerate. Simplistically put, if you're not working for the government or a special purpose construct, you're likely part of the private sector of Barbados. Never forget that. The private sector in signing today here is yet another act of its commitment to engagement and collaboration for our nation's survival and sustainable growth. What we are signing off today simply will not, nor cannot work if we do not from our hearts respect and embrace our differences of opinion and sincerely seek to reach a place of common understanding. Why collaborate? One, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. What must be apparent to us is that in a small, open economy, we are all dependent on each other. We cannot optimize our efforts if we continue to operate in silos. Two, we are craftsmen of our fate. International instability makes for an uncertain future. Uncertainty contributes to the uncertainty of our present existence. For a nation and people whose life has been relatively stable, certainly since independence, there's much cause for concern as global geopolitical events accelerate with negative existential consequences, particularly to small island developing open economies like ours. 3, we must be purpose-driven. The concept of the private sector being the driver of growth of this small island state, whilst true, must be modified to embrace the concept of each and every one, whether in the public or private sector, having a role to play in the growth of our nation. It can no longer be an us and them situation. In closing, let's continue to nurture our most valuable engagement, both within and outside of the social partnership context, and steadily progress towards the future of prosperity that we all so richly deserve. Barbados' profile will be significantly elevated for generations to come. Please continue to enjoy your celebrations and to do so safely. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Tricia Tanis, President of the Private Sector Association. Joining us today, of course, it's Labor Day. And to kick us off, the President of the National Union of Public Workers, Ms. Kimberly Agard. Please welcome her.
Madam Prime Minister, government ministers, other members of government, specially invited guests, brothers and sisters, good afternoon. I stand here before you not only as a trade union leader and public service representative, but also as a member of the labor force working towards molding Barbados into becoming one of the Caribbean's, and dare I say, the world's most efficient and sustainable small island nation. With the commencement and signing of the Declaration of Mission Barbados, we are looking at ways to create improvements and changes, not solely in our labor force, but for societal development as a whole. As a small island nation, we do not possess the resources of many other territories, but we do have the most valuable resource of all. That is our people, our workforce. And on this Labor Day, we should applaud the tireless work of the public servants, striving day in and day out to support our island's growth and development, and not only in reputation, but in stature as a nation on a regional and international stage. With the current world climate, the ability to adjust and adapt is of paramount importance. It starts with the willingness to change mentally and get our mindsets to a place where we are creating new ideas, new innovations, and plans. But it doesn't stop there. We also have to be willing to cooperate and collaborate with each other to bring those innovations and ideas into reality. With each worker, each stakeholder, and each citizen all working towards this common objective, we can show the world just how powerful and how much of a force our little nation can be. Brothers and sisters, I thank you and have a wonderful Labor Day.
Our second speaker from the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, Ms. Marianne Redmond.
Today, it's about you, as the theme so aptly states. I bring the warmest fraternal greetings and support from the BWU's little sister union, the BSTU, on this most important of days. And I will do a little teaching here just for 2 seconds. This day is a day to commemorate the protests and struggles of workers internationally to secure their rights, especially the right not to work more than 8 hours in a day. It was a fight that saw many jailed, injured, and killed, especially in Chicago in the USA. Among those hanged for taking part in these protests were some trade union leaders of the movement. This day, therefore, acknowledges the sacrifice of workers and their leaders in their many battles fought and won for workers' rights globally. And it reminds us that these rights only remain won through constant battles to retain them. As we move ahead in our path towards continued progress and cognizant of our vulnerabilities, we must be proactive, flexible, innovative, committed, and productive. The mission document that we will be signing today, and about which you will hear in greater detail from Comrade Tony and the Prime Minister, is geared towards potentially achieving these things. They address the well-being of our planet, the effect of changing values in the society, food and water insecurity, the physical and mental health and well-being of those who live and work in our country, the threat of social instability, financial marginalization of the most vulnerable, and worker vulnerability, digital access, and technological conversion. And so today we sign this declaration together as united partners, confident in the belief that we can achieve these objectives, and sure in the knowledge that with the history and track record of worker commitment and dedication in this country, our collective efforts will reap success. Workers of Barbados, it is all about you. Enjoy International Workers' Day, May Day. Solidarity forever. Long live the BWU and the labor movement in Barbados. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mary Redmond, President of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union. The common good, the mission economy, share the burden, share the bounty, sound familiar? They all align with the motto of our hosts for this afternoon, the Barbados Workers Union, and their motto, unity is strength. Please help me welcome the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, our hostess, the Honorable Tony Moore.
Good afternoon, Botanical Gardens. Good afternoon, Botanical Gardens. And a happy May Day to all. Now, if you believe it or not, I'm going to be short at this point in time. I'm proud today to be part of a social partnership that celebrated 30 years last month. Exactly a month ago, All Fools Day. A social partnership that we could say, therefore, that is mature. And today, in signing on to a declaration of missions, or a mission declaration, however we want to frame it, we are again demonstrating as a small country our commitment to a modern strategy aimed at uniting this country around the challenges that the social partnership have identified and recognized to be challenges that we can prioritize, and therefore around the missions to support those challenges. A mission that would take us through, as you hear the Prime Minister articulate shortly, to fulfillment in 2030 and 2035. Workers of Barbados, and not only BW members, I'm speaking to workers of Barbados. In a short while, I'll sign on to this union's commitment for the future we want to see. In signing on to this union's commitment, I'm signing, as I'm sure Kimberly is signing, and Sister Mary is signing on behalf of workers of Barbados, recognizing, as we've heard before, that it is workers who produce. It is workers who allow this country to meet the challenge of reshaping our economy so that Barbados can continue to be a force to be reckoned with, notwithstanding its sides. Today, in signing the BW support for the missions, we are signing for a better future for ourselves, a better future for our children, a future whose success depends on all of us. So I want you to turn to your neighbor at this time and say, it's about you. Turn the other side, like if you're in church, and say, it's about you. And I want you to look behind and say, it's about you. God bless the BWU, the labor movement, and Barbados.
And now to our keynote speaker, the Honorable Mia Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy May Day. You know, I wanted to be able to stand here and to speak to you 3 years ago, and we couldn't. I wanted to do it 2 years ago, and we couldn't. But today, having come through some of the most grueling moments in what in less than 23 days will be 5 years in government, we are here and we are standing and we are moving forward as a nation. When we came to office 4 years and 11 months ago, we told you that there were some mission critical things that we needed to do to get us out in the first 100 days from the spectacle of losing the value of our dollar. But we made it. And we made it because we set ourselves a mission and we knew who the team was. The team was, yes, the private sector, yes, the labor movement, yes, the government, yes, the people of Barbados, who by their actions and their voice consented to what was necessary. And I stand today on this May Day to give thanks for the sacrifice of some of you who actually had to make that sacrifice with your actual jobs. And we have tried through the Household Mitigation Unit and through other jobs being created to make back up, because we all know that sometimes when you are sick, you have to take the medicine, and the medicine, Buckley's, don't taste good, but it does. You got it. And we give thanks today for those who labored from whatever part of this country, be it the supermarkets or the water authority or the hospitals or the garbage collectors, or all forms of labor became absolutely noble in the eyes of all. Because without that, and everyone playing their part, this country would have seen far worse. Let us be real as we stand today. We know that it is not an easy world, and we know that challenges still face us. But we stand today on the 1st of May 2023 convinced of one thing. Even if it is not immediately apparent to others, that we can make it if we do it together. And today is a statement in the trusting the people of Barbados, that we've done it more than once, more than twice, that our grandparents and great-grandparents had to band together in order to show unity, that the very organizations who speak today could only have existed when people looking like all of us in here came together and decided that the forces that kept us divided could no longer do so, because we, the people, have the capacity to stand up and do better for our lives and for our people. Let us band together as a nation and remember this day as a day that says all who came before did well, but it is not sufficient to get us home. Let us now let others look back on this day and let us be successful in mission transformation. God bless Barbados. God bless its workers. And 3 cheers for the workers of Barbados. Hip hip. Hip hip. A little louder in St. Michael Northeast, please. Hip hip. Go on. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Amor Motley. And now, for the moment that the photographers want to capture, we invite the party at the head table to honor their word of the digital transformation. There will be no signing of paper this afternoon. There will be a digital signature on this document, beginning with the Prime Minister signing Mission Barbados Declaration, and each of the members of the head table will do so, that by 2030 we will be transforming Barbados into a country of active, involved citizens. Signing next, the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers' Union. It was a little fast, but we know you signed. Followed by Ms. Mary Ann Redmond, President of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union. And all of us as Barbadians, if we honor the vision of 2030, will feel empowered and engaged in the social, economic, and cultural development of the country as confident, creative, compassionate, and entrepreneurial citizens. And we've seen the power of the entrepreneurial spirit here today in many of the stalls around the gardens. And moving right on for the fourth signature this afternoon, Ms. Kimberly Agard from the National Union of Public Workers, the President. Mrs. Tricia Tanis next to make sure that the private sector is on board. And just for good measure, the Minister of Labor, the Honorable Colin Jordan, will also sign.